Welcome back, everyone. You are watching this channel. And today I've got another heart-wrenching story from my vet clinic. This one is going to be tough to listen to, so get ready for some sad vibes. It's about a dog that was abused, abandoned, and then saved. But now it won't bark or play. Let's call her Luna. We see Luna in the exam room. She's an adult German Shepherd. Her owner adopted her from a local shelter 2 months ago. She'd been there for over a year and nobody wanted her. When they finally did, they gave her the name Luna and brought her home. The first thing her new owner noticed was how quiet she was. In the 2 months she'd had her, she hadn't heard her make a sound. Which was strange because German Shepherds are known to be loud dogs. And when they come into the clinic, they always let us know what they think of us. She wasn't like other German Shepherds. She didn't want to do anything. She was pretty much lifeless. When she first arrived at the house, she didn't want to go outside. She spent 99% of her time lying in the corner of the living room floor. She didn't want to eat. They tried everything they could think of to convince her otherwise, but nothing worked. It was like she didn't have any will to live. Her owner took her on long walks every day, trying to get her to enjoy the outdoors. She would eventually agree, but only after a lot of convincing. On their walks, she never pulled or tried to run away from them, nor did she ever try to chase squirrels or birds. She just walked politely beside them. She never showed any interest in toys, not even when they were thrown for her. She looked at them as if they were alien objects that had somehow landed on planet Earth. She also never wagged her tail, not even once. The only time she seemed remotely interested in something was when she heard other dogs playing in the distance. Then she would perk up her ears and whine softly. It was obvious she wanted to be out there with them, but she just couldn't bring herself to get up. She was stuck in a permanent state of sadness. This continued for weeks, and her owner became increasingly worried about her. She felt like she was taking Luna for a walk, not the other way around. That's when her owner brought her to our clinic to figure out what was wrong. So when Luna came into our clinic, we knew right away that she had a very bleak history. Most dogs can't hide their pain, especially if they're in physical discomfort. But before we can do anything, we need to build their trust. We spent a lot of time sitting on the floor with her, trying to connect with her. One of the staff members even brought in their dog to try to help her come out of her shell. Even though Luna seemed uninterested in everything, including me, we could tell she missed companionship. After hours of work, we were finally able to touch her. So we started doing a full examination. As we checked her eyes, ears, teeth, and paws, we explained every step we were taking so she wouldn't be afraid. As expected, she had no microchip and her ID tag had been removed. All we knew was that she was approximately 2 years old and that she was a female. The blood work revealed that she was completely healthy. There was nothing physically wrong with her. She wasn't sick. She was perfectly fine. But then we saw our heart-wrenching ultrasound. Luna was pregnant. We weren't sure if she was carrying puppies or a false pregnancy. She'd been spayed years ago, so we knew that either way, it was going to be difficult for her to carry the pregnancy to term. The results of her pregnancy test confirmed our worst fears. She was indeed expecting puppies. Given her size and the fact that she was already showing, we estimated she only had 3 weeks left until delivery. Considering she was severely underweight, anemic and traumatized, we were concerned she wouldn't make it. We offered her owners a choice. They could either abort the puppies or keep them and try to find homes for all 4 of them. Without hesitation, they chose to parent the litter. So we gave Luna a clean bill of health and sent her home with strict instructions. She needed lots of rest and a balanced diet with plenty of protein and vitamin. Every day they updated us on her progress. And although she still didn't bark or play, she did start eating again. 2 weeks later, she gave birth to 4 beautiful puppies, 2 girls and 2 boys. They named them Aiko, Freya, Jet, and Nova. Luna didn't seem happy about being a mother, but she did her best to feed them and keep them warm. Although they weren't sure how much longer she'd last, they agreed that it was worth giving her a chance. Maybe the puppies would give her a reason to live again. 2 weeks after that, we saw all 5 of them in the exam room. The puppies were big, strong, and healthy, and Luna seemed happier than she had in a long time. She was still shy, but the puppies gave her a purpose. She played with them and licked them gently, occasionally letting out small whines. And when she did that, her owner's hearts broke because they knew it was her way of telling them that she was still in a lot of pain, both mentally and physically. Even though she was struggling, she loved her puppies more than anything else in the world. And thanks to her owners, they provided her with a loving home and made sure she'll never have to worry about food or water again. Over the next few months, the puppies grew bigger and stronger, and Luna became more playful. She was still very timid, but she was slowly coming out of her shell. The whole family was ecstatic about the progress she was making. They knew it would take a lot of time, but they were willing to wait however long it took. Then one day, tragedy struck. Luna's puppies found a home. Her owner's friends fell in love with them and decided to adopt all 4 of them. From the moment they signed the papers establishing they were officially the new owners, Luna's spirit completely broke. She stopped eating, drinking, or playing, and she spent all of her time whining and pacing the floor. Her owners knew something was wrong, so they brought her back to our clinic for a checkup. When she came in, we could tell she was suffering, but we couldn't figure out why. Since she was healthy, we asked her owner to watch her closely and call us back if anything changed. 3 days later, they called us in a panic. Luna had collapsed. They rushed her to our clinic, but unfortunately, by the time she got there, she was already gone. We were devastated. I examined her body and couldn't find any abnormalities. Nothing indicated a cause of death. Her organs appeared healthy. But I noticed something strange. Her stomach was empty. She hadn't eaten in days. We performed an autopsy to figure out what happened. And just as we suspected, her stomach was completely empty. There was no food inside. It appeared that she starved to death. But why? If she hadn't eaten in days, why didn't her owner step in and force feed her? Well, here's the thing. When a dog stops eating, it's not usually a good idea to force them to eat. If they don't want to eat, it's probably because they're not feeling well. If you force feed a dog in that condition, you could end up causing serious damage to their throat or stomach. And in severe cases, they could even choke to death. So when your dog refuses to eat, the best course of action is to wait and hope they change their mind. In Luna's case, though, waiting was not an option. She had just lost her puppies and was already extremely skinny. Her body needed nutrients or she could die. Unfortunately, her owner didn't realize this, so she waited to see if she'd eventually start eating again. Luna refused food for a week straight, so her owner had no choice but to let nature run its course. In Luna's case, she was a victim of her own past. She couldn't cope with losing her puppies, and the trauma of her previous life eventually took over. If her owners had known how important it was to force feed her, she might have lived longer. But since they didn't, we couldn't save her. It was heartbreaking to see her condition, and even though we couldn't bring her back, we did learn a valuable lesson. Dogs that suffer trauma often develop a fear of abandonment. Luna was too scared to love her owners because she thought they'd leave her again, just like her previous owner did. Sadly, some dogs never overcome that fear. But with patience, love, and understanding, most of them can lead happy and healthy lives. Luna was lucky enough to find a home with people who cared about her. Although she couldn't stay with them forever, they gave her the chance to live a happy and healthy life, for however long she had left. What's the saddest part of the story? Her owners had no idea that forcing her to eat could have saved her life. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this dog story. If you want to hear more stories like this, stay tuned. See you in the next one.